Give me the meat, and give it to me raw.
What's the matter? Take yourself a great big bite of meat. Taste the pleasure of the highest quality pork around.
I know porn. I know porn.
Dude, that's like a test of strength. That's not gay. That's like I'm gonna grip you. I'm gonna grip you harder than you grip me. Little kid ears. When I first heard that, I heard not if you stick a lump of coal up his ass in 2 weeks, you have a diamond. When I heard as a kid, I sounded like in Twix, you'd have a diamond. Like, why are there chocolate bars up his ass? As a little kid, I didn't understand. Little kid ears hear things differently.
That's not even the funniest thing you just said.
What?
When you messed up, you said "cum in his ass," and then you started over.
I did?
Yes!
We want to enjoy what we're looking at. We don't want sores and fat whores. Liar! No.
Let me be as clear as I can. Ain't no colors in Scandinavia.
Game over, man. It's game over.
All right. Round table is here. We're going to have some fun today. And yes, my internet's working again, so I'm on camera. I'm not living in upload hell. How we doing? Welcome one and all round table. We got a good one today, guys. We've got a good one. A lot of fun stuff has happened, and I can't wait to do it. Let's go around the horn, say hi to everybody, and then let's jump right in. Because we're on a schedule here, and I started 2 minutes late because I was busy dicking around and didn't realize it was start time. So Jed, hi. It's as if I never see you anymore.
I know, long time, very, very long time. It's not like we nerded out about John Wayne last night. Not like that happened at all.
No.
But it is great to be here despite this being a very sad week for me with Doctor Who coming up with the anniversary, the specials, the changes that have been announced for the lore. It's a depressing time to be a Doctor Who fan and that's been the same way for years though. But this week in particular, it's very disappointing. But it is, as always, good to be here. Yeah,
we are going to talk about that. That's our warm-up because goddamn, it's bad. Dre, have you gotten any sleep?
No, I have not slept in weeks, as you know.
Check your mic. You sound a little off there.
Oh, do I sound low? Hang on.
Wrong mic.
Hang on.
Wrong audio source.
Underwater.
Wrong. All right. Well, Dre's fixing that. We have a guest today. There you go. Okay. All right.
There we go. Holy
there you go.
crap.
There. You haven't gotten any sleep because you're a man on a mission.
Yeah.
You're a man on a mission.
Yeah. So I am a mixed bag panda today. Indiegogo's going very well. I'm very, very excited. I'm very happy about the progress we've made with the Indiegogo. So for those that haven't checked out my graphic novel or checked out the Indiegogo, I'm sure the goddess will throw a link in the chat. I'll definitely appreciate everybody's support. Still got 45 days left. Plenty of time. I would love to have your support in my graphic novel. It's great. I love it. I'm having a whole lot of fun. And I've gone on so many freaking podcasts, prostituting myself. I have not even slept a wink. So I'm very, very excited about that. On the flip side, I hurt myself this weekend, gentlemen. I hurt myself this weekend. I watched Scott Pilgrim Takes Off this week.
I've heard things.
And
I've heard things.
I'm hurt. I'm hurt. I'm hurt. Deeply grieved.
I'm sure it'll come up. We have time. We'll talk right there. But yes, guys.
But the good outweighs the bad. So the Indiegogo is going well. I really appreciate everybody's support. It's great. I love everybody. It's tremendous.
Mods are sharing the link. Link is in the description below. Check it out, guys. This is Iron Age right in front of us. Support it. And we have a guest because we're shorthanded this week. And I said, who wants to help out? And instead of throwing me to the wolves like he does every week, or my clones, the captain of the USS Engage has decided to actually come down on the away mission where he knows he has no protection. Because
that is true. I'm just gonna hide behind you. So
yeah, well, no, I ain't the red shirt on this show. this is my command.
We'll see.
We are joined by Ryan.
What's going on?
Legion News. How you doing, dude?
Oh, it's good, man. I'm glad to help out and be here, and very excited to talk about how the Marvels is the best movie ever made. So absolutely,
Oh
here it is.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh
Um,
yeah. I mean, that's the crown. That's the jewel of
it
today's
it
conversation.
it is the crown jewel. And not far behind it would be how Rachel Zegler is destroying another franchise.
Oh,
Um,
oh.
I just don't. I know she's responded to you on Twitter, so she's kind of your queen. You
No,
and
she's not my
Dermy,
queen. No, that's a Dermy thing. That's a Dermy thing. I don't play that game. She's still a unibrow, shit-faced hate monster, as far as I'm concerned.
faced hate monster.
She is.
She's
horrible.
very angry. Yeah,
Yes.
she's a little. I know she got a unibrow, but she's a little too attractive to be this angry. She's got to get some. I don't know
I
something.
don't know. I don't know. I'll be honest. We were talking about this on Ballbusters the other night before we went live, and apparently there are, let's just say, actually nudes. There are nudes out there, selfies that are out there. I'm not impressed.
Oh, did she get leaked?
I'm not
Shit.
impressed.
That's why, ladies and gentlemen, don't send nudes.
Yeah. I mean, well,
Especially gentlemen, don't send dick pics. Nobody wants that.
Beautiful ladies, you can send them to me. It's okay. I'm trustworthy. It's all right.
You're gonna get all the dick pics now. You're
gonna
get all the dicks.
Dude, you don't want to know what Dermy fucking sends me. It's horrible. It's terrible.
I can.
No.
All right, speaking of Dermy, I need to say something, Adam. I can't believe you did this to me. I am disgusted with you. Why did you have to tell that man that I played Pokemon?
Because it's unrestricted warfare across everybody, and I will. Listen. I have to spread that. I have to spread that damage around. Okay.
That dude is one day away from being a massive furry. God damn. I just kept denying it. It's like, you've been lied to, Jeremy. I don't know what Pokemon is. What is Pokemon? I have no idea what you're talking about. Leave me alone.
As somebody who deals with him on a part-time basis, yeah, you guys spread the hate around. It's he's kind of an infection, and you just got to share it.
Yeah, I gotta spread it around so that I don't suffer. I mean, I'm on so many goddamn shows. He's everywhere.
He is everywhere.
He's everywhere. He comes up even when he's not on the show, like now, because hey, listen, I know he listens to this show. I know he does. And I'm gonna beat him up. It's fair game. You know, he listen, goddamn asshole says he wants to throw me in an oven all the time.
What?
All the time. So if you have a shower, I want
cannibalistic or really gay?
No, that's like
or Jewish.
That's big smile.
I think it's leaning more
smile.
towards the Jews.
That's big smile.
C'est Jews.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. He's trying to murder me. So I'm gonna make sure that you all suffer him too. Anyway, before we get started, let's say hail and howdy to the chat, and we'll get going. Hail, the Goddess Legionist, one of my mods, one of my regulars, here to keep the peace, here to troll me, and just do his thing. Hail, guitars and synth. Yes, modern entertainment can take a piss. We're never going out of stuff. We're never. I can watch anything and everything all the time. There's so much good we can go back to. It's fine. Good afternoon, Kale. How are you? Hail, Hussein. We are going to do this. We are going to have a good time today. Hail to you, Ruben X. Going down the list. Make sure you get ready. Hail, son of Joxer. You just saw John Wick for the first time. I still have to see the fourth one. I'm going to make that. I haven't seen it yet.
I haven't seen it either.
I've only seen one John Wick movie. It was on an airplane. And it was the second one. That's the only one I've ever seen.
I like them all.
I enjoy those movies.
If you watch the third one, there's a lot of gratuitous dick biting in it. So
what?
I got them all right there.
Yeah, it's so Halle Berry. Yeah, thank you. Sorry, fucking dealing.
You want to say Halle Bailey? I know you do.
Yeah, not too long ago. Yeah. Her character has these German shepherds, and they bite almost every guy in the dick, and just shake. It's just nuts. I mean, I think there's probably 31 times that dudes get bitten in the dick. Yeah, my buddy and I saw it in the theaters, and we just walked down. He's like, "Wow, that was a lot of gratuitous dick biting."
Wow.
It's just like,
yeah. Well, I got them all. A funny thing though, when I got them a couple years ago on Black Friday sale, like all of them were like $4 a Blu-ray. It was a great deal. I open up my John Wick 1 Blu-ray case, and it was a DVD combo pack. It's got the DVD, the thing for the digital code, but the Blu-ray is John Wick 2. And then I open up my John Wick 2 one, and it's John Wick 2. So that's where the story ends. So I technically have all three, but I have a DVD version and a digital copy of John Wick 1. But I like them all. I always enjoy them. It's turned my brain off stupid fun. And
the first one's really fun.
And Keanu Reeves, Keanu Reeves seems to be just a down-to-earth dude. So how can you not like him at this point compared to everybody else we have to deal with, especially?
So yeah, I mean, he says as long as the fans want me to keep making these movies, I'm gonna keep making them. So
Yeah.
it's the fact that just right there, is massive.
Yeah. And so it's a good time. So Josh, I hope you enjoy the remainder of them, and I will get around to watching the fourth one eventually. I have no motivation to watch new stuff, even if it's good. It's just it just goes on the list of, am I really out of anything to watch? Okay, this is the night where I'll do it. Or if it's a sequel movie, or if it's a franchise, okay, I'm watching everything. Then I will get to what I haven't seen yet. That's kind of the way it is for me right now. Anyway, but all right. We got no shortage of stuff for you today, guys. We got no shortage of stuff. First on the list, Jed mentioned it. Doctor Who it really is done. Russell T Davies has proven once and for all, and I said this to Jed earlier in the week, this is what happens when you tie in your ideology to your history and you rewrite your own history to suit your ideology in the here and now. And that's RTD right now. Plain and simple. So we're going to talk this thing that dropped the other night, which, if you guys were watching Ball Busters, I broke Soldier Adam with this when I showed it to him. And I truth has to be told. Then, as we said, the crown, beautiful, glorious, lustrous jewel of today, the second week drop off of the Marvels. We were all wrong. We were all.
Hold on, Adam. Hold on.
I tried to find the clip. I didn't have time. I think Grump was the only one who was right.
Yeah. You were all wrong about the numbers. But I think my guess
on the budget, on the break even. That's break even. That's a different subject. We're gonna get to that. You are the one who looks like you're gonna be closest. You're gonna be Price is Right closest here.
Here I am.
You. I'm next closest because I was being conservative. But wow, we could not predict it was gonna be this bad. Right on its heels, you've got Rachel Zegler Hunger Games. No matter what numbers you use, and we'll talk about that, this movie will not make money. No matter what numbers you use.
And what's even worse is that the Hunger Games has already surpassed the Marvels.
Yes,
and it's a flop itself. So the Marvels is a mega flop. It's a
different flop. I mean, one's $1 billion flop, the other one's going to be a couple $100 million flop. But same thing. They both fail. And preview for my tweet tomorrow, Rachel Zegler's going to have to change her pronouns, according to me, tomorrow when I sent her a tweet, because she engaged with me.
And look, as somebody who saw the Marvels, yes, I had family that wanted to see it. I was like, okay, I'll go. Let's go see the movie. They tried to make it more fun than the first one. It is better than the first one. I will very much admit that. She is not massively OP. She gets beat up. And they even tried to pull out all the stops on, the fact that Brie Larson is actually pretty decent looking. And even it still didn't save the. Yes. Yeah. There's even a couple close-ups of like shots from behind where it's like you see like her lower back and her butt, and it's like looking at some other characters, but like they really tried with this to appeal to people. And I mean, in the movie, she's called the Annihilator. Like, she's not known as this like this superhero. It's almost like they're acknowledging the fact that like people hate this character, and they tried to make her more likable. Brie Larson's acting is even better because she's not insufferable, and it's still not a good movie.
No, I heard it's basically an editing nightmare.
Yes,
it's like 5 different movies put together.
Yes,
there's no narrative. There's nothing. But we're gonna get to
that. I really want to watch it. I'm gonna be honest here. I really want to see it to the point where I'm gonna laugh at it.
I'm surprised nobody in G&G House dragged you to see it at this point.
No one went to see it, if you know what I mean.
Well, I have a lovely place where you can swim out to some deep waters, and if you want to watch it, So
yep, I've got.
That's usually how I watch most everything. But if it's a family thing, family wants to go, then I'll go see the movie.
So. Was it the one that you got of quality? I can't find anything that's not.
No, it's pretty crap.
okay.
So they do pretty good on a lot of them, but this one's really shit. But it's not like the
I'm
movie's
not
be
gonna
stellar,
watch
so.
it. I don't care. There's enough. I can talk about it enough with what we're gonna talk about today.
Yeah.
I mean that. And hail Haley Hoops. Yes, Haley Hoops despises Rachel Zegler. Haley Hoops enjoys it when we trash on her, and we are going to. It's going to get that moment. We will get there. And we got a couple other things we'll tie into this. Disney continues to make all the wrong decisions. If it turns out to be true, why Pedro Pascal for Reed Richards? Why?
Oh God.
I hope that's not true, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
I
mean,
hate that,
especially
man.
because
No one else wants to take the role.
That's the
Everybody
point.
knows that.
yeah.
Everyone knows that Reed Richards is going to become a soy boy cuck, and they're like, "No, we're not
Yeah.
interested in playing that character." But
Yeah.
good old Pedro Pascal loves having butt plugs, so
Yeah.
he's into it. So he's
Yeah.
going to go and do it.
Yeah. So we'll get to that. If we have time, Sony says to MCU, "Hold my beer" with Madam Web. Hello. Let's make a Spider-Man movie without Spider-Man again.
Mhm.
That's all. It's really so. And a couple other things, maybe we got time, but let's dive in. So, Jed, your heart was already broken,
Oh yeah, my heart was broken a
you're
long
broken.
time ago.
and you're gonna make me suffer over the next few weeks watching 60th preliminaries.
Yes, I will make you suffer, but I have a peace offering.
Oh,
I haven't announced this yet, but I'm putting together a stream for Wednesday night at the point where it's Thursday in the UK for the anniversary, where there is a strict rule. We don't talk about the new Doctor Who. We just talk about the old stuff. We just talk about loving the old stuff.
oh, what
And,
time? What time?
I'm shooting for 10 because it has to be
Okay.
after Cobra Cast.
Okay,
And
all right.
after
I'll be done with Natural
20
20 by then. Since my camera's working, Natural 20's back on the schedule, guys.
But
yeah, so I'll be done with it.
the only homework is watch some good Doctor Who that you love, and we're just gonna nerd out about it. And
I got
I'm
the
excited
photographic
because
memory. It's all up here.
what I'm actually gonna do is leading up to that stream, I'm gonna watch the first episode of every Doctor.
Ooh,
Just watch all their first episodes. I'm actually looking forward to that.
How far back are you going to do that?
I'm gonna go start with the Unearthly Child. I'm gonna start with
Okay.
1963
Going
and
all
just
the way to the beginning.
I don't think I'll watch the full arcs because a lot of those arcs in Classic Who were 5 episodes per story. I think I'm just gonna watch the first episode of each Doctor and just go all the way through to
That's a good time.
Capaldi.
That's a good time. I love. We're not have a second. We'll talk about it on Wednesday because I'll be there. I will be there.
Okay.
Capaldi's episode. You don't realize how good it is till the very end. Capaldi's premiere.
Mm-mm.
When
That one was weird
it was so weird
at first.
It was so weird because of the way they did the regeneration,
Mhm.
where we didn't see the burst and suddenly blip blip. Suddenly he's Capaldi. Matt
Mhm.
Smith is Capaldi. But then by the end of it, the ambiguity. I can speak for God's sake. Ambiguity of that final moment. Did he push him? Did he
Mhm.
not push him?
Because that sets up this version of the Doctor.
Yeah.
Capaldi's a much darker Doctor than Matt
Yeah.
Smith or David Tennant. Eccleston was pretty dark too, so I'd say he's the darkest since Eccleston. And so I was kind of saying, what was he gonna be?
Because I really enjoyed Capaldi. I liked his gravitas. I liked the
His
serious
writing
nature.
was terrible
Yeah,
for the
yeah.
most part, but he was great. I loved him in the role.
Yeah, I agree. So your heart was broken a long time ago, just like mine. So when we got this the other night, it was Friday night into Saturday. It was Friday. It was Friday because it was Ball Busters. Yeah, it's Friday when they dropped this stupid, retarded 5-minute mini episode of
Yes, for a
David
charity.
Tennant of David Tennant 14, not 11, 14.
So
And-
I just want to set the stage a little bit here. So for Dre and I don't know Ryan, anybody who's not familiar with Doctor Who, one of the 2 primary antagonists of the show is this character called Davros. He's the inventor of the Daleks, those creatures next to him, those metal tank things, Dre. And
Okay.
he's artificially extended his life. He started out as a normal human type figure, an alien human like, but he's constantly cybernetic enhancement to extend his life. He's thousands of years old at this point, but that takes a toll. His face is all disfigured. He has to stay in this wheelchair. It's a life support system as much as anything else, but he wants his Daleks to exterminate all life in the galaxy. Or in the universe. That's his goal, is to be the dominant race, the only race. And he's a great villain. He's been around since the 70s. And this is what he looked like in 2008 when he was reintroduced into New Who. very iconic look. Stands out. Everyone knows who this character is. But
All right.
Russell T Davies, who originally did the show back in 2005 to 2009, recently came back to showrun, and he's decided that this is offensive to wheelchair users
What?
because it associates disability with evil.
Wait, hold on.
That's a direct quote.
Okay, so is he retarded? Or
That's
something?
just gonna say, is he fucking retarded?
Well,
So
what it is though is he's tied his. He's gay. He's very gay.
Yes,
he
he's
always
very
knew
gay.
this.
he's
knew
been gay
this.
for a long time. Yeah,
Yeah,
we've known
ever
this
since he
decades.
restarted Doctor Who in 2005, not news to anybody. And guess what? None of us cared. None of us cared.
No one give a shit.
And problem is now he had tragedy in his life with his husband or his partner, whatever it was. And that, as Jed has said in the past, that kind of broke him. And he dove headfirst into ideology. And he has tied his ideology to his sexuality now and to everything he creates. So it is now an ideological clusterfuck.
So he's changing the canon, Dre. He's saying that Davros actually never looked like this. We've got to change the past for a modern lens so that we don't associate disability with evil. So he's pretending that this is what Davros always looked like now. Instead of that great iconic design that everyone knows and recognizes, he's just some dude in a Yahtzee-looking uniform now.
Yeah,
I was just gonna say, so he looks like he's part of the SS. I mean, that's what we're doing here.
I mean, the
These people
Daleks
are
have
so
always
broken.
been a metaphor for the Yahtzees there, with their race aspect, their domination aspect. But yeah, they're just like, instead of the iconic design, they're like, let's make him look even more Yahtzee. It's at least the same actor, but
yeah, I have a question, Jed. So the make sure Davos. That's
Davros.
Okay, so this character has been around since the '60s and forever and a day, and has been a major antagonist. I would assume. Okay,
yeah,
top two.
Major antagonist, and the fact of the matter is that he's in this bionic chair in order to extend his life so he can continue to do evil things. I would to continue. Okay,
he was evil before he was disabled.
Yeah.
Okay, what's that got to do with handicapped people? What's that got to do with wheelchair people?
Nothing.
I'm very confused. See, this is the thing with that modern far left nonsensical garbage. I always get confused when they always miss the point. The point isn't the fact that the person's in a wheelchair. The point is that he constructed this thing to maintain his existence so he can do evil things. It's got nothing to do with him being handicapped. It's got what he's an evil person and wants to do evil things, and his body is decaying because he's a human. So that means he would need that life support system to get around. It's got nothing to do with, we don't want handicapped people to be looked at as evil. No, people can be evil and they happen to be handicapped. That's how it works. It's not somebody gets in a wheelchair and then out of nowhere, I want to destroy all fill in the blank race here. That's not how it works. You're a piece of trash before you get in the chair. You don't go into the chair and transform into garbage. That's not how it works. So this design now, he's we're a German of Yahtzee descent now. I'm going to assume is that it, because that's the only villains we can think of.
Basically,
yeah.
And let me guess, he can walk around and all other great stuff.
Oh yeah,
blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
No
issues.
And the great thing is, he's still white, right? That's the kicker.
Of course.
So as long as you're white, you can be as evil, unless you're handicapped. Then we gotta heal your legs so you can be non-handicapped and evil, but still white.
So this isn't the only disability thing he's done recently. He made a big statement like 6 months ago or a while back that said he's going to make the TARDIS wheelchair accessible because the chairs, the stairs in previous TARDIS interiors have been offensive and not accessible. So there is actually someone in the 60th, I believe, who will be... there's actually two people, I think, who will be wheelchair users in that one. One who is a very elderly man who was in the show previously who can't walk. So he's going to be in the TARDIS. We know Wilfred Mott's going to be back in his wheelchair. But there's also a disabled woman who's a young woman who's going to be in the TARDIS as well.
Wait. Okay. Help my brain real quick. Because I'm not in depth in Who, so I'm not even going to pretend. But a TARDIS is the phone booth, right?
Yes.
That's the phone booth. You can't put a wheelchair in there. What?
Well, it's bigger on the inside.
I mean, I'm pretty sure it's a like the dimensional.
Yeah,
thing.
but the thing is that these people, these are the worst kind of people because they project their own discriminatory thoughts on other people, and they say they're doing it for a good intentions, right? It's one of the reasons that it's like, oh well, you know, we can't have black people be the bad guy, like, you know, because that's racist. It's like, no, you making that assumption based on their skin color is what's racist. Like,
oh, I made that point in my video. It's like none of us thought black people were orcs.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
none
like,
of us thought Davros was evil because he was in a wheelchair.
Yeah, it's nonsensical to have these thoughts, but these weirdos that make entertainment now, like, they're just broken. I mean, they are literal damaged goods. These are broken human beings who they have nothing better to do. Their life is too good, so they have to basically vomit their own discriminatory thoughts on other people. And normal Americans are tired of it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, Dre, this is what the TARDIS looks like on the inside for the 11th Doctors, at least. So there's stairs, there's all sorts of things. That's the phone booth door that you see there. So it's bigger on the inside. But there's been stairs in most of the designs.
So I'm confused. So help me out. So inside is a interdimensional room or whatever. So they're going to get rid of stairs and put ramps in there? Like what that's the idea?
There will be no stairs in at least the console room. Maybe because the TARDIS is actually infinite in interior size.
That's
it's
what
a
I
whole
was
dimension.
suspecting.
So
they can put an elevator in that piece? Is there an elevator in there?
I don't know.
Is there something
that we've
like
ever
a hovercraft?
We rarely go beyond in the TARDIS. We rarely go beyond the control room. Only
99% of it's in this room.
I mean, but I'm just thinking because I know nothing. That's what I'm saying. I'm going this knowing nothing. In my head, if I wanted to do that, why don't I just put an elevator or like a hovercraft or something creative in there?
He has the technology to make hover chairs. I mean, Daleks, they float. He made a quadricycle, which is basically a hovering bicycle for a kid once. He can. He's just like, all right, I'll make your wheelchair float. But instead, it's like, we got to be accessible.
We have to show it. To show
that's retarded, man. I don't.
Well, this is also retarded right here. I mean, this is when Tenant 14 enters this episode.
Are we gonna watch it?
Just for this clip, this 1 second. Here.
Okay. So, Dre, I want to preface this with you. So, Davros, the guy we were just talking about, he invented these new creatures called Daleks, which are like squid-like creatures who drive around in those metal tanks that you saw. Okay. And the Daleks are some of the most intimidating foes in Doctor Who. They're like Yahtzees, but they're nearly unstoppable. When the Daleks were reintroduced in 2005, there's an episode where it's just one Dalek against an entire compound of heavily trained mercenaries.
And the funny thing is, in the past, their weakness was stairs. And in that episode, the Doctor's going, "Oh, stairs, what are you going to do?" Then the Dalek decides to hover.
It's just
and go
starts
up.
hovering.
But that connected to what we were just talking about.
Like they have a weird design. Like originally, it was basically an upside down trash can with a whisk and a plunger. But even in the old show, they made them intimidating. They were fearsome. They were difficult. Even one Dalek was insane to fight. And they were just pure evil, pure hate. The one thing that they say pretty much is exterminate. That's their catchphrase.
I want to do the voice, but I'll break everybody's eardrums if I do it.
So I just want that image in your head before we watch this clip.
It's in there.
All right. So now this is not David Tennant 11. This is David Tennant 14. They just look the same, but they aren't the same. And this is how you know in this one line right here.
Just passing by because I got a bit lost. It's funny. 60 minutes ago, I was this really brilliant woman.
No, you weren't. No, you were an insufferable bint that nobody liked.
Oh, you got to keep.
Thank
we
God.
Gotta watch the rest of it.
I know, but thank God this is 14 and not 11. This doesn't tarnish 11. 10. Sorry.
Oh my 10. God! And I completely just spaced this. The fact that they did a Rosa Parks episode.
Oh yeah.
What?
Oh, and they did a Rosa Parks, but it's the female white Karen-looking lady who's responsible for Rosa doing what she does.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Rosa
this is-
Parks isn't brave and decent and dignified and standing up for civil liberties. She's being held up by some white broad.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh,
Yeah. Now,
okay.
in this
Yeah,
thing,
they literally just tarnished something that's absolutely historical. It's just disgusting that they did that.
now in this little mini thing, as Jed said, the doctor has accidentally arrived at the moment Davros is putting together the Dalek prototype, and it has this giant evil mechanical arm. And when the doctor realizes where he is, like, oh no, I've interfered this, and this is how the Daleks get the.
So he accidentally broke off a massive claw arm, Dre, when he showed up, and so he's gonna fix it.
You broke the multi-claw adaptable thingy-majig. Oh, yeah. Right.
The quirky music, I hate that too.
Just pausing for transformative purposes.
So yeah, this is the invention of the most evil creatures. This is basically going back and meeting baby Hitler, and they're just doing quirky, like, oh, cool,
I mean,
this
honestly,
is so weird.
this
Don't
should
give
be
them
a
ideas.
This should be a fixed point in time that
It should be.
can't go to.
Yeah.
He shouldn't touch.
Yeah.
That's a toilet plunger.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Yeah. Now we've seen what the plunger arm does. It's horrible what it does to people. It's horrible.
It could suck the life out of you.
And it's terrible. I mean, so this is a joke. It's a joke. And I got something else here, Jed. I don't know if you saw this one.
So yeah, Dre, he throws it to the dude and he puts it on instead of the evil claw, and then Davros comes in and looks at it with like romantic music, and it's just like, oh, it's like, I love it. I love the plunger instead of the evil claw.
Have you seen what RTD is doing interacting with people?
I saw that first one. I haven't seen the second one yet.
Second one, well, the first one, people are criticizing this, and RTD is basically being
Even
a bitch.
woke people, like people who use terms like ableist, are saying he's being ableist by this. That's not a term that I would use or most of us would use, but people who use that term are still saying this is wrong.
Yeah.
What the heck is ableist?
It's basically it's a racist, but it's the term for discriminating.
You said too much. Okay.
Disabled people.
It's made up horse shit.
So first person here is criticizing the whole realtor thing we talk about. He just says tough. Second one here. Will you be changing the Cyberman neck so it doesn't upset our friends with prosthetic, which should be limbs? And then he says, oh, poor baby, crying emoji.
Can you send that to me? I had that first one, but I didn't have that second one. That second one is
I'll send the
awful.
link to you. Yeah, I'll send the link to you. I'll DM it to you. Yeah, this is
this isn't the first time he's done this. A while back on Instagram, he called all Republicans cunts who he wished were dead.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So
he's not even an American, by the way. So the fact that he's sticking his fucking nose and like, really?
Yeah. So this is what happens when you tie your ideology to your creativity. You destroy it. I mean, he already had sunk the ship when he said he wasn't going to retcon out the Timeless Children. That was the deal breaker for a lot of us. I mean, I didn't think he was going to do it, but when he officially did it the other week, we talked about it. Yeah, fine. I'm done. I'm only going to watch this because Jed's making me. And then after that, we're not watching Shooty. We don't care. I mean,
I'm going to watch the Christmas special.
You might, yeah, you're going to do it for review purposes, but which is acceptable.
So
but
this and Witcher are the only things I review anymore.
Yeah. And for review purposes, that's acceptable, but they have alienated everybody. And this is why. This is what you don't do. You do not attack the fans, your customers, the people who you need to make your shit work. Not to mention, Doctor Who's a dead franchise here in the States.
Absolutely.
Well, and it makes so much sense now that Russell T Davies is an employee of Disney, basically.
Yeah.
Because Doctor Who in the States will be distributed using Disney Plus.
Well, that Disney money's got
it makes so much sense. Like you're talking just like a Disney exec, a Lucasfilm exec.
Yeah.
But at least there is. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say on top of that too, the BBC obviously is a giant, just garbage corporate. You know, and it's state sponsored, so the tax dollars of the people in the UK are funding all of this, and they have no say in it. And
Yep.
that's absolute garbage.
It's
Yep.
deplorable. But
And,
there is some good news with all of this.
What?
In the United States, classic Doctor Who will be available free on demand on Tubi. You don't even need an account to watch classic Who for free.
I saw you post that. Yeah. That's
a good
enjoy
thing.
It. And you know
I'm
what?
going to
find a good stopping point, and it's Doctor Who. You could stop at a certain point, be okay.
Yeah, your stopping point could be wherever works for you. Some people say they don't watch New Who. Some people say they don't watch past Tenet. Just find a good stopping point, find a good end, and it's R.I.P. Doctor Who.
You know, honestly, I feel like my good stopping point is the Husbands of River song for me. That's a good stopping point for me.
That is a very good one as well. But the super chat that just came in mentioned it. In that clip too, Dre, he said canon and history is falling apart. It's like,
oh, yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah. All right, let's get to
something there.
We got a couple super chats. First from Sam 8000 for $5. Thank you, Sam. Just got my Foyd card. I've narrowed my gun decisions between a SIG P320 and the Beretta 92F. I am way beyond knowing what the modern classifications of quality, but Ryan, I'm sure you can comment on this.
Is somebody who has actively used Beretta before, I would go with a SIG. Beretta's fine. I'd say it's a very competent, decent weapon, but I think SIG is just going to be the standards for 6 hours going to be much better. If you can afford one, I say go for it.
Yeah, when I had guns, they were being purchased for me when I was a young man by my stepdad when I had my collection. So I have never actually done the purchasing myself, and I am not doing any purchasing until I move again because I don't want to risk any craziness transporting firearms over state lines. So I'm waiting till I can move until there's no problems any which way. Well, but thank you, Sam 8000 for $5, and I'm glad Ryan is here to give you an actual answer that I could not provide. So thank you, $5. And Jay Fraser 360 for £10. Canon isn't a word we take seriously. RTD, DW Magazine 2007. After he said this, I knew as a fan from that day who RTD is, and nothing he has done then or since has surprised me. Hashtag RIP Doctor Who. I didn't know that. Line. Did you know that line?
I was not aware of that. I'm going to look it up right now because I'm getting ready to do another RTD video tomorrow on him, so I can add that in.
Yeah, that's well, that again. Canon is king.
Always has been.
It's kind of like what happened with The Last Jedi, right? So like
oh no.
Ryan Johnson came in and he's like, well, I wanted to make my own Star Wars movie. And it's like, well, newsflash, dude, you're making a movie that's meant to be a part of a trilogy. So I don't know where you thought you were just going to come in and make your own movie and do whatever the hell you wanted, because you needed to continue the story, and he just didn't.
Not to mention, he has to work with the rules set up by George Lucas.
Yes.
You don't get to break the lore because Dave Filoni says you can.
This is the modern take, and obviously you can see, but this is back in 2007 that RTD said this. They've had this thought for a while now, and it's just now until when fans finally started pushing back, saying, "Hey, we don't like this. You're messing everything up," and their attitude is, "Well, I'm the one making it, so I'm going to make it however I want. And if you don't like it, don't watch it." It's like, well, now we're not watching it. And it took a long time, but congratulations. These movies flopping at the box office is exactly why, because of your attitude.
Yep. And real fans walk away.
Yes.
We walk away. We will celebrate things that we loved when they were good. And then we're going to remind you, because I say this all the time. We were here first, not the tourists, not the SJWs, not the stands. We were here first. And that is why when the whole Star Wars thing began and I was able to claw my way back when Last Jedi happened, I was in the midst of clawing my way back to liking real Star Wars again. And I climbed out of my black pill, and it dawned on me, if I let them take this shit away from me, that means they win. And I'm not going to tell people not to get apathy. I'm going to hope people don't get black pilled. But my reminder is for everything, not just Star Wars, but for Doctor Who, but for Star Trek, for Lord of the Rings, all this stuff. Remember, you are the passionate real fan. You were there first. These fake fans, these tourists, these stands, they don't get to walk in and say it's mine now just because a corporation signed a document. They don't get to do that and celebrate on one. No, we were here first. We are the ones who say whether or not something's legitimate, because guess what? It's our money. It's our money that makes these things live on. And We're getting that proved every day. So thanks, Jay Fraser, for the 10 pounds.
Mm-hmm. It's something that I say a lot. Just because these companies have the rights to do something doesn't mean they have the right to do it.
Yep. And well, you know what? Disney has every right to suck.
Yes.
Disney has
It
every
sure
right
does.
to suck. They have every right to keep murdering what they own because it's crap. And the Marvels. Oh, the Marvels. All right, last week. 3 of the 5 are here. So last week I wasn't fast enough to get our clip for it. I was doing it when we were about to start and realized, oh shit, we got to start. But we'll have the honor system. We'll know. So I said last week 50-60% drop. I know I said that. Jed, what do you think you said?
I think I said between 250 and 300.
No. Drop off.
Oh, drop off. I think I said 65.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
and I definitely said like 50. I think I said 50 to 55 because of how little money it made. Was I wrong?
Yeah, I think Grump was the only one who said 80.
Yeah, Grump said an
say,
astronomical number. He did.
Grump just took a swing, and Grump hit the home run because the Marvels drop off. Let's go to the drop off. There's our current total. We'll come back to the budget in a minute, or the gross. We'll come back in a minute, but the drop off 78%.
Holy cow, that's a new record.
Oh wow!
Because the last record was 69%, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think so. And here's why we lowballed it, guys, because we made our case with something that only grossed domestically 46 million in these United States. We thought we've seen it happen. If something starts so low, how can it possibly drop anything more than 50-60%? I mean, well, Marvel said, hey, we're up to bat now. Let's look at this week when it started. What was Monday? Was the 13th? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yep.
It opened at 2.3 million on Monday. And
God.
And I made a video on this during the week where somebody was going crazy. Stan was going crazy. We just onto the Tuesday number. Then it went up to 3.3 million. Then on that Tuesday, they said it jumped 33%. Guys, we're doing it. Everybody loves the Marvels. We're making it happen. Showing how great this movie is. And I made a video basically saying jumping $1 million when your break even is basically $1 billion. That's not victory.
Mm-mm.
And then the next day, it dropped back down to 1.7.
Talk about jumping the shark on that one there, people.
And then on Friday, look at Friday, 1.2 million.
That's insane.
That is insane. That's horrendous.
And it hasn't lost theaters, guys. Same amount of theaters. And then this is the weekend haul. 2.8, 4.4 today, estimated 3 million. It'll probably be adjusted. I bet it's going to be adjusted down. Last week, that was a funny thing. We were talking about all these things. They adjusted it down when we were done last week. So this is failure.
I want to make a prediction here because Thursday we dropped to $1.2 million. I think we might drop below 1 million on a weekday.
Yes.
Maybe not Monday, but on a weekday at least.
Yeah.
On a weekday. Which is insane for a Marvel movie for the first 30 days to drop below 1 million.
I mean, we've never seen anything like this.
Oh, God, no.
I mean, what is the explanation? The simple explanation, guys.
The real one or the fake one?
The real one. The real one. We could talk
People
about.
People are tired of this crap. They're just tired of it. They're sick.
Yeah.
They're just sick to death. They don't want to go to a movie that's going to preach at them. They don't want to go to a movie that is literally cringe. And like I said, this one's actually better than the first one because they actually tried to retcon a lot of the complaints. But people are just done. They're sick of it. And on top of that too, people aren't watching, you need to have watched WandaVision. You need to have watched Miss Marvel, to understand. And when I went with family, they're like, we feel like we missed something. I'm like, yeah, you missed. If you didn't watch WandaVision, then you don't know who Monica Rambeau is. And they're like, oh, I didn't realize that was that little girl. And I'm like, yeah, that's her.
Yeah, or Ms. Marvel.
Yeah. I mean, I'll say this: the family dynamic is still probably the best thing that came out of Miss Marvel, because at least they kind of act like a real family, a little dysfunctional, right? They kind of annoy each other, but at the end of the day, they stick together. Well, that's a message that Disney has lost in a lot of their stuff, is like, actual family. So there are some decent parts about it, but no, people are just sick. It's just the bottom line.
And what I've been saying is, it boils down to, then these are characters people don't care about. These are stories that are not interesting. I mean, Dre, as a comic guy, these characters all failed.
Every single character featured in this film has nothing but failed comic book runs.
Yes.
Forget the television, forget the
multiple reboots.
Multiple. OG, screw it. OG Captain Marvel, Monica Rambeau. She is the original female Captain Marvel. Failed run. Failed. Carol Danvers. Good God. How many runs has she had over the last 20 years that they all went down the freaking toilet?
Yep.
Oh, I know how many. All of them.
When Carol Danvers cannot sell. When Carol Danvers was Miss Marvel, like, at least the character was a little campy, a little, kind of fun, right?
Yeah, it was fun.
But as soon as 2014, she became Captain Marvel, and she became just this stoic, serious character with no personality. Like, people, I mean, it just flopped like a wet mop. It just, nobody cared.
Yeah. And then the coup de grace, Miss Marvel, the ultimate self-insert over the last 10 years.
Sama Amanat.
Oh my holy Christ. That comic has never sold a nickel. Nothing. When she with the Inhumans, nothing. She's nothing.
They just made her an X-Man. They just made her an X-Man now.
They just pulled that right out their butt cheeks because they've got nothing for her. Nothing. They never have. They never will. I hate to put her in this category, but I'm gonna say this in a way that everybody can comprehend. Like, there is a very popular character named Psylocke. Most people know who Psylocke is. She's hot. She's great. And she's been featured in a lot of X-Men stuff over the years. A lot of video games, a lot of comics, a lot of great arcs. However, Psylocke's solo run never did well. Never did well. And she never legitimately became a household name in the eyes, in the ears of the normies. For those that are elbow deep, we've done unspeakable evils to ourselves through our images. God knows I have. But the normies will have never caught on to Psylocke. Miss Marvel is in that category, except she has never contributed jack at all. And she's being pushed like it's freaking a WWE. Okay, she's been pushed everywhere. Okay, she's been in video games. She's been in a bunch of video games as crossovers.
They made her the central character in that Marvel's game.
And the Avengers. Yeah, nobody played it.
Avengers game.
Yeah, nobody cared. That was like the Avengers off Wish, by the way. It was awful. So it's one of those things that just nobody cares about this character. And don't get me started on her, Captain Sexual Harassment herself. But from all that leaked office information about her, it's why she wasn't fired, but she was no longer needed. It's just funny. These people insert themselves to be these, and it's like, nobody can relate to that, right? Nobody cares.
Nobody.
And it's one of those things that it shows in the box office. We went the opening weekend, and our theater was about a quarter full. Opening weekend on a Sunday.
What time on Sunday?
It was like 1:40.
Okay,
so that's prime.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
on a Sunday, that's prime time.
I looked at my local, multiplex, my big theater locally that's like 10 minutes away from me. I looked at all their openings for Miss Marvel from Friday to Saturday at major time slots, and I screen captured when I threw them in a video. 1-2 seats reserved. And the walk-in, I would maybe say walk-in would probably maybe be a couple more. Nobody went to see this movie, and it's proven now. We see the drop off. It made $10.2 million in a second week.
It's crazy.
This is what, and now let's talk about the next point in this then. The overall run take. Again, I tried to get the clip. I should have done it yesterday. Listen, I have an excuse. Yesterday, I got sucked into EFAP watching that whole Biggie thing. I got sucked into that. Jed knows I was going to play a video game stream because we're back at full power. I got sucked into watching that, and I forgot everything else.
It happens.
That was just entertaining as hell. Watching EFAP break down that Biggie documentary. That was some crazy shit. So I didn't do anything last night after driving. And then this morning, I woke up early, went back to sleep, and woke up at lunch and ate lunch, got cleaned up, got ready, and like, oh shit, I haven't done anything for the show yet. And here we are. So I don't have the clip of us with our budgets, but we've been pretty consistent over a few weeks, so I can fairly say what we all said. I said between 200 and 250 million for its full run. That's what I said, give or take. Even if it goes over 250, I feel like I'm still right. Jed, you said 300?
I think so. Something between 250 and 300.
Yeah.
I think I started out at 300 and then extended the range from 250 to 300.
I know. I'm pretty sure Grump said 300 to 350.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where he was wrong.
I knew I was below him.
Yeah. But Dre.
I lowballed.
Dre,
I said
you
between
are the
150,
home run king.
150 and 200 million. I am looking prophetic up in this piece.
Yeah. Yeah, you're looking pretty good right now.
I don't know if it can hit at 175 at this point.
No,
I
I don't.
It's over. It's over. What's it going to drop to next week? 37 cents? What's it going to drop to?
This is in competition for one of the biggest flops of all time. Like, you thought The Flash was going to be bad? This is outdoing The Flash in the same year.
Mhm.
Brian, do you think it's going to be more than a 50% drop for next week at this rate?
I would say because the fact it's already 78%, I could probably see it being. I mean, how much more can you really drop?
I mean, if they only pulled in $10 million.
Well, see, this is how bad it is, right? After the opening weekend, they were already writing articles of like the Marvels and when it'll come to Disney Plus. Are you serious?
Oh, but they'll say, look at the premiere. We got 10 million views on it at Disney Plus. They'll say that. They'll claim
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, so does it even make $5 million next week?
No, it can't.
No, I don't think it can. Given the numbers already, no.
Imagine if we see a 90% drop.
I think it'll make less than. I think it'll make on Friday. Yeah,
I'm with you. I think it makes under $5 million the whole week next week.
Domestically or both?
Domestically. I can't predict world. That's world. I don't live around the world. I can't say that. I mean, well, let's see. What did it do in world? Its world was 62, so it made $30 million around the world this week, roughly, because I believe it was 62 million last week. It's
over.
We can go back to the box office. The world. I mean,
that is horrendous.
China wanted nothing to do with this.
Embarrassing.
And all major markets is open. It's everywhere. There's no delay.
No, there is no delay. No, absolutely.
Delay. Yeah, even Japan already has it. Yeah, Japan already got it. Japan usually they delay that shit for Japan.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when we talk about it a bit, they delayed Hunger Games until December in Japan.
Those lucky bastards.
So I think
it's over.
For my own purposes, I'd love it to smack dab 200 million because then I look super prophetic, even more than Dre did, and then I could do I can do the I'm super regular because I've been saying this for weeks. I've been saying 2 to 250 for weeks. Yep. I've said it on purpose so I could do a clip chain of me saying it with all the dates when it happened. I wanted to get there just so I can, but I don't think it gets to 200 now. I don't.
No, I don't think it is either because it can't even limp its way to any type of a it's not going to happen. It's been lobbed off at both knees. This thing is just. Well,
here's the thing. Here's the only way it gets 200. If international would carry it to 200 because it's done domestically in the U.S. here. It's done.
Mm-hmm.
It would have. I mean, if let's say it slaps, we'll say 3 million. domestic, so that's at 64. If they throw in another, we'll say I'll be generous, 20 million worldwide, then we're at 84. And then in the remaining run, can you get another 14 million worldwide globally to get to
Ain't
200?
no way.
Nope.
There's nothing left. Everybody that has wanted to see it, those 5 people, have seen it. And those that wanted to see it to mock it have seen it. It's over.
But Dre, I'm being told in the comments to my Marvel's videos that it's a wonderful movie. It's great. And it, I should bring it up. Let me bring it up real quick. Hang on.
And I will confirm. I found it more entertaining than the first one. And so it's they like, again, like, she's not this massive OP character like she was. She
restarts the sun.
Yeah, well.
But, all right, so when I replied to a comment yesterday,
she does get beat up throughout the movie though, but that's at the end.
Where somebody came to my comments to say the movie is great, it's brilliant.
I forgot about that.
And it's got a 91% on Rotten Tomato audience score. And I said at the time, or maybe that was for Hunger Games. I'm mixing up my stupidity.
Flops.
My flops. I mean, either
Stop
way,
mixing up your flops.
Mixing up my flops. Well,
and it's historically, and it's very short. It's an hour and 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, so I mean, they could pump out the screenings on this. There's no tomorrow.
Well, my favorite thing about flops like this isn't an Indiana Jones situation where people just put their head in the sand and be like, oh, only the reported budget is the only level they got to get to. They only got to get to 275 or whatever for the Marvels. But with this, they can't even use that excuse, the ignorance excuse of the 2.5 times the budget.
Yeah.
This is fucking glorious.
And, they're still pushing that shit for this and for Hunger Games on social media. Oh, it just needs this for the break. People don't understand how break even works.
Nope.
Just to remind everybody,
current theaters only take 1 to 5%, Adam.
Oh yeah, that's horseshit.
And but current metric we use, and right now there's the conversation, we've had it here, and I'm hearing it in other places. It's currently 2.5 times your total known budget. That includes production and marketing. So sometimes that's why it varies, because you only have one or the other, and then we add on a little bit because we know it's more than they tell us.
With reshoots.
Well, that's usually why, for the longest time they say the rule of 3, right? You take what the production budget is and you times it by 3, because then it should factor in the marketing budget with what the theaters are going to take, and the fact that they're probably lying about the budget because they've been spending money on these movies like it's going out of style, especially with the reshoots. I mean, the reshoots for half these movies add an additional $100 million
easy
to the budget.
This one's been in production longer than a lot of the other Marvel flops or superhero flops of a while. The Flash is probably
3 years
in development longer, but yeah, 3 years.
They kept pushing this back over and over again until they could push it back no more, and here we are.
And even one of the big reveals, right, is because Monica Rambeau, she goes to another universe through the Terran time, and she lands in the X-Men universe, right?
Yeah.
And so they
have the Fox X-Men universe.
Yeah, the Fox X-Men universe. So they have Kelsey Grammer's character there, and
Beast.
so yeah, nobody knows. No, like nobody cheered, nobody clapped, nobody cared.
And I like Kelsey Grammer. I didn't like his Beast, but I like Kelsey Grammer. But
just everybody was like, whatever. Like, I don't think I've heard anybody cheer or get it, laugh or get one of these movies since Endgame. And No Way Home doesn't count. It's a Sony movie.
So exactly, that's a Sony movie,
So-
and we're gonna get to Sony. Sony's got its own problems now. But here, 1,000 people keep it at 83% on Rotten Tomatoes, which we remember Captain Marvel broke Rotten Tomatoes. That's why Rotten Tomatoes is broken, because of Captain Marvel. And they're that 62%, that's locked in forever. That's never going to change. They want to keep it that little fresh. They're never going to lock it. They're never going to move it. But this is disaster. Like the chat's been saying, like we've been saying, this is epic all time. Epic all time.
Yeah.
And they don't
78%. That's historic.
Yeah. And I think it's going to be like a 90% drop week 2 to week 3. I don't think they break 5 million.
Endgame didn't drop that far, and it hit $1 billion in the first weekend, right? So you think a movie that massive hitting $1 billion in the first week, and everybody and their mother is going to see it, right? And then they're probably going to go see it again. So, and you would think that the drop off for that would be just ginormous, and it was at the time. But 78%. This is an all time record for the MCU.
But we're not shocked.
No.
Because we saw it coming when you are catering to people who aren't fans, when you're pushing stories and characters nobody cares about, when you are literally and actively undermining all the lore that you've built up. I mean, the Captain Marvel storylines have butchered Nick Fury.
Oh,
they've annihilated him.
Oh yeah, no, I mean,
here, quick side story. Right now, my mom relies on me to give her entertainment because she just says, what do you think I should watch right now? Or what I would do? Because she relies new stuff, old stuff. She's doing an MCU run right now. So she takes my collection and she watches it. And she just watched Winter Soldier yesterday. Man, she loves that movie. She loves it all.
Great one.
She's having so much fun watching right now. And I just tell her, enjoy it. Enjoy it.
Yeah.
This part you don't need to know because she doesn't know what's going on. I don't ruin her good time.
The MCU ended with the Infinity Saga. I've been saying it for years.
It's one of my rules to live by. MCU ended with Endgame. For all its flaws, Endgame stuck the landing. It's done. It's over. I don't need to go beyond that. I don't own anything past that. My last MCU Blu-ray is Endgame. That's it. I don't know. But Disney will not learn their lesson. They will not learn their lesson. Why?
No.
Because they don't care. They're not listening to us or listening to anybody. We were promised the announcement of the Fantastic Four casting during the strike. It's like, oh, as soon as it's done, you're going to get the Fantastic Four casting. And we made our predictions. I re-downloaded the video. I have it. We did it as a joke. We did it for fun. Half believing something true. And we still might be right a couple of things. Johnny Storm still may be flame on. He still may be flame on, flaming. But
for all of its flaws, the Fox, the ones with Jessica Alba and all that stuff, they're looking rosy right now.
Yeah, they're looking incredible.
They have aged very well compared to
even with the line I always think about when I think about that first movie is when Doctor Doom at the beginning, before he's Doctor Doom, is in shadow and he's like, "Oh, look at you, Richard, just always stretching."
Yeah,
trying to set up his powers.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
go ahead.
I was just gonna say it's got some campy stuff, but man, they've sure aged well. Even the second one, which the giant space fart, it was Galactus.
Fog Galactus.
Yeah, the giant space fart. That's it's just
it's better than what they're going to do. This, I mean, there's all kinds of rumors surrounding Galactus and his herald, and either way, the Fantastic Four and the X-Men are their Hail Mary pass. This is their Hail Mary. They need to land these end zone, no fumble, no nothing, in order to have an ounce of saving. And that's besides the fact that these movies are pushed so far back. We've talked about it. Nobody's going to care anymore. Casting is important.
Oh, it's massively important.
No,
that's not it.
No, this is not Reed Richards. Pudgy faced, average height, middle-aged Pedro Pascal is not Mr. Fantastic.
And just for the record, CBR, nobody will ever be the next Tony Stark.
Yeah, that was a spot-on casting for Robert Downey Jr. Now, here's the thing. This is not official yet. Let us remind everybody. It is not official that Pedro is Reed Richards, but
luckily,
all signs point to yes.
All signs point to yes, because it kind of has that feeling of a lot of these leaks that come out well before the fact of the official announcement. And then people are like, dude, are you serious? Like, you got to be joking. And then all of a sudden they're like, no, congratulations, Pedro Pascal. And it's like,
and you guys brought this up earlier. The rumors are, again, we stress this is rumor. The rumors are that a lot of other current big name male actors turned down this role because they saw the script and they saw that it's a Sue Storm script.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about the Fantastic Four, and Reed Richards is not the hero. It's all about Sue Storm.
Mm-hmm.
That script makes it obvious that Pedro Pascal is the perfect actor to play this version because he's used to being a beta cuck.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
I've hated this man for a long time since Last of Us.
Dude, first
Last
time I
of
saw
Us.
him was in The Mentalist when he was in season 6, and he gets cucked in that one by Jane, and I love it. His character gets cucked by Jane, and
he was good in Game of Thrones. That's the only time I can say I thought he was good.
I don't like him as an actor.
I like to see. I like season 1 of The Mandalorian, but I could tell after season 2 that it was starting to aim downhill.
Ryan, you bring that up. So my definition of Pedro Pascal, he's a mid-level TV actor.
Mm-hmm.
He's not a movie leading man. But you bring up Mandalorian, he's in the helmet whole time. Jed, what movie did you?
Well, I think it's twice he takes it off.
Well, you know what I mean, though. A lot of the times it's his voice. We're going with his voice. Jed,
yes, no, I would say most of the time it's a stand-in, and I think the actor standing in for him, the way like he emotes it without saying anything is probably much better than Pedro Pascal ever could.
But it's Pedro's voice coming through.
Mm-hmm.
And Jed, we recently watched V for Vendetta.
We did.
And
character who never has to show his face.
Hugo Weaving emotes with his voice that entire moving, and it's captivating.
Yep.
Because it's Hugo fucking Weaving.
I mean, he's an incredible actor.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think there's anybody ever who could say that he's not.
Yeah. So we have evidence that one can have their face covered and be powerful. Pedro went through all that, and he didn't achieve that level.
No, he didn't.
He doesn't. And I know some people like the Last of Us TV show. Those of us on this panel are not among them. There's those that watched it.
Yeah, I mean, it. We all know where it's going. You can praise that till there's no tomorrow. We all know where it's going.
Quote as a Joel and 1 is on the way.
Yeah.
Quote as
4.
Abby Smash.
Yeah.
And so of course he's looking for other work. So he's going to get this. This guy can't carry. So this is the worst cast possible. But you know what they're doing? When we did our predictions, I rewatched it. I said Reed Richards is going to be black. That's what I said flat out.
Sure did.
Now, here's the thing, though. When I said that, they weren't running away from Kang at that point. They were still all in on Kang, who was going to be a descendant of Reed Richards. So it was feasible they were going to do that so they could lock it in why Kang is black. Now that's changed. They're running hard and fast away from Jonathan Majors and Kang for all the obvious reasons. But they're still putting somebody in this with Pedro Pascal who can say, oh, look, we're diverse. A Latino man is Reed Richards.
And Pedro Pascal is beloved by the normies. So
they call him daddy. It's weird.
But they're going to act like this is
that's
the first...
weirdos. That's not the normies. That's the weirdos.
Those are fair.
Yeah, the weirdos call Pedro Pascal daddy. I'm like, what is wrong with you? Like,
why?
People are just broken.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of people like that. But this isn't the first time there's been a Hispanic lead in a Fantastic Four movie. Jessica Alba, technically not white.
It's very true.
But they're going to act like this is the first time ever. It's like, finally, a Hispanic representation in the Fantastic Four. It's the same thing they do every time that there's diversity in a modern Marvel movie. Erase the past. Black Panther, first black superhero movie ever. Eradicating that Blade saved Marvel from bankruptcy. There's no MCU without Blade. And yet
Blade is still one of the best Marvel movies ever.
That's correct. That's correct.
But here's the rumor why this happened, because Kevin Feige said the Fantastic Four is going to be too white. That's the rumor. They're never going to learn.
Adam, I think we can remove the term rumor anymore. I think we can just assume that's exactly what
I'm covering my ass, Dre.
Yeah, I got you. No, and I understand. And what you're saying, I agree with why you're doing it, but I think the reality is history has dictated that this be true already. History has dictated that be true. Like, it's Fantastic Four. It's a traditional white group, and I'm all for it. Let the white folks have some stuff. Screw it. It's a Fantastic Four. What the heck? What are we doing? Look, I've been black a long time. Okay.
Really?
What?
Believe it or not.
Really?
No.
Believe it or not. Believe it or not.
I've only been black for about 6 months.
Don't worry, Ron. You'll get your card. Your card's
okay.
coming.
Awesome. It's good to know.
And look, And even in the blurred sphere, we respect the Fantastic Four. Some of the stories are great, but none of us have been really like bent on how like, hey, Fantastic Four, who's gonna cosplay as Reed Richards, or who's gonna be the Thing, or who's gonna be Johnny Storm. That's not a black thing, or that's not a color thing. Let the white folks have the Fantastic Four, for Christ's sake. When Fox Studios did the Fan Four stick a few years ago and made Johnny Storm black, granted, we didn't really care because we don't care about the Fantastic Four like that. And at least they put a story together that made him like an adopted kid, which made more sense. But the idea that, like, oh, for the sake of diversity, we're going to change everybody. Like, Reed Richards is going to be a Mexican, and Johnny Storm is going to be some quasi gay homosexual Colombian, and what was it? Sue is going to be some black Latina, and that for some odd reason don't have titties. And then we have the Thing is going to be some weird allegory for trannies. I don't
That's
give
still gonna happen.
But Doctor Doom will still be white because he's
you better
bad,
believe it.
Bad white
Oh,
guy.
you better believe it. Doctor Doom is not only going to be white, they're going to find somebody that's deeply Anglo-Saxon. We're talking deep Germanic history. We're going elbow deep.
That's where I was thinking they'd go to.
Without question. There wouldn't surprise me 1 second that he is the whitest man I have ever seen. Without question. And it's so freaking transparent. It was like, hey, look, all the diverse people are heroes, but that evil white man. God, come on, man. I thought we were past this. We used to be past this. We were on the clock 20 years. We didn't care about this crap. We didn't care about oh, it's a black villain. We can't have black people look bad. The woman has to be smart and different. We didn't care. We were having a good time.
You can't you can't objectify the women, so like obviously when Jessica Alba is Sue Storm, she turned invisible, her
I objectified her.
You couldn't you can't do that in today's world. Men are allowed to be objectified all they want. Thor Love and Thunder, Chris Hemsworth showing bare ass, and and Chris Hemsworth was like, I don't want to do this, and they still did it.
Yeah,
like, I don't want to do this.
They made him do it.
Yeah.
Now I'm
he's one of the OG Avengers, and they said no, you got to do it.
Yeah, and
imagine if they'd done that to ScarJo.
And you just hit Jed. You're in my head, man. Yeah. You're in my head because look, the idea that he's like, hey, I don't think I want to do this, and they forced his hand to do it. That makes it wrong. Because now an actor is saying I'm uncomfortable, or whatever variation of the language it was, saying this is something he wants to do, and the studio forced him to get naked. Now,
hashtag Me Too, right, guys?
Hello, where's mine? Where's my Me Too's? That man was forced against his will, straight up and down. Like, it's not for debate. It's not, oh well, maybe kind of. No, he was not down with it. And like Jed is in my head. We've been talking too long. He's in my head. He if Scarlett Johansson was going to do a naked scene, if Jesus be worthy, that would have been. And then she said, "Oh, I don't want to do it." There would have been no question. Oh, we're good. It's all good. You don't want to show your thick titties? Great. That's great. It's wonderful. We don't have to do that. And it's wrong. Either way you spin it, it's messed up.
To go the Halle Berry route, demand more money, and then take them out.
Yeah, well, it's one of those things that because I mean it even came out obviously after the fact, right? I mean they get all the stupid articles like, Scarlett Johansson was so sexualized, and well, yeah, that's the character, dude. I don't know what to tell you. She's a super spy. What do you want?
We've seen the behind the scenes take where Jon Favreau was watching that ass.
Yeah,
yep.
and she was strutting, enjoying herself because she knows she was hot.
Yeah, so no, it's nothing but garbage, and people are just sick of the fact that these are the biggest hypocrites on the planet, and they're probably some of the most vile people on this planet.
Yeah, we know that.
I still want that list from a certain island because I guarantee there's a lot of Hollywood weirdos on it.
They'll never release that. But here's the thing: so they've dropped the Hail Mary already. They fumbled it. Pedro Pascal. If and when he's officially announced, I don't care who else they put in there. He's not Reed Richards. Even if you cast somebody incredible as Doctor Doom, that makes it even worse. Because let's say they nail the casting for Doctor Doom. You put them on the screen at the same time. somebody who's super quality will chew the scenery, and Pedro's going to be going. That's what it's going to be.
Yeah.
But it's going to be not working there at all.
Well,
and they haven't set up the story either.
I think the $1 million question is, it literally is, how many more flops can they handle?
Oh,
how many more TV shows can they have people not watch?
Ryan,
Secret Invasion cost over $200 million for a damn TV show that nobody watched. Nobody cared.
Wait till next week and Wish comes out.
Well, you actually bring up an interesting thing. So I dropped an article in the roundtable chat, but I can pull it up too. It's the 20 biggest movie flops of all time, adjusted for inflation. And it's shocking to see how many Disney films are on there. There is an astronomical amount.
Are they
and a lot of them are recent, but not all of them. Up until the Marvels, we'll see if that comes out. John Carter is believed to be the biggest flop of all time.
That's a good movie. I like
it.
John
Is.
Carter.
I
liked
enjoyed
John
quite
Carter
a bit,
too.
but it flopped hard.
One of these days, I'm going to read all those books.
I liked the Prince of Persia movie. It flopped.
Yeah. I enjoyed that movie as well, but it is a Disney film that adjusted for
that
inflation.
With the Gyllenhaal boy?
Yeah, Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah, Prince of Persia. Yeah. I enjoyed that movie as a kid.
Hey, and I know that obviously Jake Gyllenhaal wasn't right for that role, but I still enjoyed the movie. And at least it stuck to the premise of the damn games, and they didn't try to
it went
bash
Sands of
on
Time,
everybody.
Right? It went with the Sands of Time mark.
Yeah. Prince of Persia, Sands of Time.
But yeah, that's the thing. They have a mixed perception on what to do. All these things suck, and they're not even ready to complete the ball. I mean, like we said, this casting is wrong. They have no setup for this movie. They haven't set up the Fantastic Four at all in anything. They haven't set up the villains. We're just going to pull Doctor Doom out of nowhere. We're just going to pull Galactus out of nowhere and expect people to be ready for it. No, it's not going to work. This isn't what we asked for anymore. And you would think they would understand that. You said that. How many more failures can they handle? Well, they're reshooting Captain America Black Falcon 4 for a year. A lot of rumors surrounding that one. Why? Some because there might be a Jewish hero they don't want in there. I don't know about that. They might want to not have that in there. Other reasons, but they're reshooting that. That thing already is probably a $250 million budget. If they're going to bring back Harrison Ford, he's not going to be cheap to bring back for reshoots.
No.
And marketing. Another $1 billion flop on the way. After that, we know the list. They've greenlit Shang-Chi too.
Who is?
We're also getting Echo, ladies and gentlemen. Put your hands together for that. That's right.
Any minute, it's going to happen. Drop any minute, the dead of night, and no one's going to care.
Yeah, all the episodes, the 6-episode run of Echo is going to drop, and nobody cares.
Yep, I'm not.
Oh, you guys aren't excited for a show where it's a crime worthy of death to not know sign language?
No.
And that's how they market the film. They start out the first trailer with, "If you don't know sign language, it's okay to kill you."
Yeah.
It's a hatchet job. All of it's a hatchet job, and like Ryan said earlier, people have caught on. Nobody is going to go to this anymore. You're speaking with your wallets. You know why? You know why it's evident? Because we, the actual fans, we've checked out. Only YouTubers who we do this for, part of what we do, are the only ones watching and talking about it. Real nerds, they're gone. Real fans are gone. Normies are gone. The Marvels proves it. They're gone.
They're going to be rewatching with the Winter Soldier and Infinity War, because they're going to be like, I don't care. Like, I want to watch something that was entertaining that I loved, right? They're going to be watching old movies. There's and it's one of those things too, is that people don't have the disposable income. Congratulations, Hollywood. That's part your fault too.
Yeah, I'm paying $13 a ticket.
When
16 here, actually. 16.
And the thing is that when we have to keep bailing Hollywood out, yes, this has been the second time Hollywood has been bailed out within, I believe, a couple decades.
Twice.
So the people are sick of this shit, like, right? So no, people are not going to go see these things because they're like, I don't have the money. I don't care. There's much better things I could do.
Yep. And they're doing that. They're doing that. And now I was going to lead into talking about Madam Web, but screw that. I want to get to the next card, the next bout on this card. Let's just say Madam Web. Sony says, "Hold my beer. Let's put out our own female-led movie filled with characters nobody knows about or cares about, without Spider-Man in a Spider-Man verse." Quickly, this movie in February when it drops. I can't wait for this one because again, we're going to be right back where we are with the Marvels. And I just want to say, Sony has an opportunity. They own everything Spider-Man. Marvel, Disney, they don't own a goddamn thing. They have to rent it, lease it, borrow it, beg Sony to give them scraps to work with it. And they've got Tom Holland Spider-Man. Love him or hate him. I'm 50-50 at this point. But they proved with No Way Home that people are always going to be hungry for Tobey Maguire Spider-Man.
And too, on top of that, people are now hungry for Andrew Garfield to get his third movie because of the the redemption. The movies were terrible, but Andrew Garfield is not.
I
not
like TASM 1.
Right.
I did like TASM 1.
So it's one of those things that there was massive payoff right in that movie when Andrew Garfield's Peter Parker got to save MJ because he couldn't, people were very invested in that. So now they're hungry for this third movie.
Yeah.
They want it to be good. So I mean, you give us a fourth Tobey Maguire Spider-Man and a third Andrew Garfield, like you're gonna make a lot of money if you keep your bullshit out of it.
Yep. And that's a thing. And real quick, I see it right here. Hail Lyle Hammond for 10 dials. Hail Adam and panel. It's been a minute, but pneumonia mixed with COVID. Dude, I was there in July. I know what that feels like.
That sucks,
it's
man.
Rough, but I have recovered. I'm back.
It's
and here's a little something once again to hail us, the actual fans and all of you. Well, thank you for $10. I'm glad you're feeling better because, again, that's what knocked me out in July. I got COVID, which I kind of breezed through. But then I got pneumonia, which knocked me on my ass for 3 weeks. So,
welcome back, Lyle. I'm glad you're doing better,
dude. I'm glad you're doing well, man. And happy to hear that you're healthy and you're on the recovery. And that still took me another month to recover. And I did lose the sense of taste thing partially for about.
Yeah, you were super sick, dude. I remember. Like there was. I think there was one period like you crashed for like some 20 hours or something.
I was
out.
No,
because
well,
people were like, we were trying to get a hold of you and stuff, and like you were like, dude, like you had pneumonia, something wrong. Like, yeah, we were.
I was gone for like 3 days. I was gone.
Yeah,
and and then I said I'm alive, don't worry, and then I disappeared again for a week because during the whole period I couldn't breathe right, I couldn't sleep, so it's a blur. It's like a week or so of a blur, and then we put me on antibiotics and it righted the ship, but then it still had to run its course. But that took a while. And so, Lyle, I know exactly how you're feeling, dude. I was there, and just, lots of rest. And if you have lost your sense of taste a little bit, don't worry. It does come back. I've got my full sense of taste back now. It comes back with a little bit of time. So don't worry. Either way, so, dude, I'm glad you're doing well, my friend. And welcome back. And thank you for the $10. Back to what we were saying then. I was right, Ryan. You went exactly where I was going to go. People are hungry for the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man because there's a story to tell there. Yep. And how easy would it be to drop him into this Spider-Verse that Sony's been making? It's simple. It could be his, and people would want it, and people be okay with it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean,
but these people are allergic to money. That's the bottom line. They're allergic to money.
I don't understand it. I can't figure out how Hollywood can keep flop after flop after flop and not get the message here of this isn't working. The Hunger Games is on and the Hunger Games ended with goodwill too, right? And who you cast in it is who's tanking it. She's tanking another franchise because she's an insufferable bint.
Let's get right to it.
Let's do it.
She's a hateful person.
She is a hateful person. She is a hateful person. And this is the result. This is your result. Your opening weekend, my friends. 44 million domestic. Worldwide, it's made less than the Marvels did on its opening weekend.
This movie should have made over 100 million on its opening weekend easily. Because the Hunger Games has not been a thing for a long time now. It ended well. People were mostly happy with it, right? I mean, it wasn't perfect, but it ended well. This should have been well over this.
Yeah. I mean, I watched the original Hunger Games when I got home from China and I was sick and injured and I was just watching anything under the sun because I was basically immobile. And I was all right. I mean, I got through it. I've never
I
watched it
like the
again.
first two. I think the last two are they're okay. They're okay. They're not great, but
Splitting
the first
the
two I
third
think are
one
very
into two
solid.
movies was a little
Yeah.
rough. It was a little
Yeah.
rough. But here we go. They made the author write a prequel so they could make it into a movie. They made her do this. This was not something people were asking for or clamoring for. And this is the result for two things. Like you said, one, for all intents and purposes, Hunger Games was a dead franchise. Is that fair to say?
Oh, absolutely. The whole trend in Hollywood of teenage dystopian novel adaptations has long since died off. We're a decade separated from the height of that, so it's not going to be a box office draw. And that title too, I always bring it up. That title is ridiculous. I would not go to this movie from the title alone. The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. It's a mouthful, and it's
a mouthful that Jeremy would have a problem handling. That's how bad.
Oh God!
It's that
Why
bad.
did you go there?
Because I saw it. That's why.
It's just so pretentious.
Yeah. So
and it's trying way too hard to be attached to the other movies. I mean, literally, I saw an advertisement for it today. They're literally compare and contrast the characters you already know, and then they show their younger selves, right? Because they are desperate for you to see this and be like, it's a Hunger Games movie. It's a Hunger Games movie. You got to go see it. You got to go see it. It's like, and when Rachel Zegler does her little Katniss bow, like. That's just, dude, screw you. She's just so unlikable.
Hail Static 2020. Who will be joining Jeremy and I on Anime Odyssey in 2 weeks?
He is correct. The whatever the Birds of Prey subtitle was, like that was insane.
Oh,
they kept changing the title. They kept changing
the one that it ended up being like the fabulous journey of like
emancipation.
Of one Harley Quinn.
That John, I think it was called Birds of Prey, the Fabulous Emancipation Proclamation of Black Folks Getting Out of Slavery of Harley Quinn. I think that's how
it was something like that.
All right. So here's the weekend breakdown. The Thursday, less than Marvels. Friday, less than Marvels. Saturday, less than Marvels. Today, projected less than Marvels. $100 million budget is what they're saying for this movie. I call bullshit. I say 150 probably. Add in marketing, but let's play their game. Let's play their game. Let's say it's 100. That means this movie needs $250 million to break even.
Yes.
Not happening even at that.
Not for one solid 2 seconds is that happening.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I'm saying actual break even is more like between 350, 450. That's my belief.
Yeah.
But either way, this movie doesn't sniff it. Doesn't get there.
So we're looking at the third Rachel Zegler box office flop in a row.
You better believe it.
I don't think she's been in anything that's made money at all.
Never has been. She is a perennial flop at this point. And to quote our good friend Samuel, who says she's not necessarily a failed actress because they keep hiring her, but she's been in failed movies. I believe that's Samuel's quote.
Yeah, it was West Side Story, right? That was
West Side Story, Shazam 2.
Shazam 2, and now this.
And now, and we have yet to reach Snow White live action.
Snow White's not happening, Adam. They can't.
It's going to happen. No, Dre, here's why it has to happen. I've been talking about this with people the past couple of days. It's going to happen because they can't cancel her. Because if she does get fired, if Rachel Zegler gets fired, which she should be, because she's not good, she's not talented, and gosh darn it, most people don't like her.
Her fans are too ravenous for.
There's your point. There's your point. We're going to talk.
Her fans are rabid.
We're going to get to that. If she got fired, these studio executives, these company executives, corporate executives, they are scared to death of her social media presence. Why she has a social media presence at all is beyond me. As a mid-level actress,
no idea,
with nothing to amount to, it boggles my mind. But the backlash on social media that she would create has them scared to death. That's why Snow White is going to happen. They will not cancel that.
Nope.
They will not.
I could see them maybe doing a Disney Plus move.
That would still be a victory. That would be a victory for us too. That
That would be a
definitely
massive victory for us because I don't know if they can afford to put Snow White in theaters because there are too many clips of Rachel Zegler out there just flapping her trap about how
Yep.
it's an outdated movie.
Mhm.
The prince isn't going to save the day, and she's like, well,
They're
I
all
mean,
going to come back.
yeah,
They could do all the rehab for her image in the next year. They could do all the reshoots they want. When we are a month out of that, every single one of us who covers her and her horrible behavior, we're just going to run those clips again.
Mhm.
We're just going to run them.
I mean, I'd watch the Snow White movie if her stand-in from
Oh, I'm
that,
going to watch it.
I'm going to watch it anyway. But
I will
you know,
watch the
like
hell out of that movie because I
it's
need to be able to review that shit.
I mean, there's no Seven Dwarves in it anymore because I mean, obviously, it's so offensive.
No, those
I mean,
oh no, you see the digital. They're
it
not.
looks like
dwarves.
7 losers that live in an apartment in
Oh no.
Seattle.
Have you seen the CGI picture, Ryan? Have you seen it?
Yes, I have.
Yeah. So those are the 7 stand-ins. I think are somebody else too. I think whatever magical creatures who aren't dwarves, it's all there. It's all glorious. I think.
This movie
I
is
can't wait.
so screwed, and it's
I
supposed to
can't
come
wait.
out what 2024.
No. They delayed it a year, March to
Oh,
March.
did they delay it a year? Oh, okay.
March to March because they're afraid of Daily Wire's Snow White. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, and I mean, look, I mean, Daily Wire is not hitting home runs for theater wise, right?
No.
They don't put anything into the theaters, but it's just the premise alone, the fact that they're like, hey, look, it's going to be actual Snow White and the 7 Dwarves instead of whatever the hell this Disney thing is, Rachel Zegler making her joke like, oh well, if we could just lift the prince out, it's Hollywood, baby, whatever.
Mhm.
Because I don't know his name, I don't really care.
Nobody knows that
Uh,
dude's name. Nobody knows
yeah,
that dude's
so
name.
it's one of those things that's like she's going to become the leader that she always could be, and it's like, all right, whatever, dude.
Yeah, but that movie's bomb. But she is a complete and total failure. But before I move back onto her predictions, I'll go first. Box office total run. I'm going to say 175. Jed,
Uh,
I think that's fair. There's no way it's getting to 200, but
that's why.
will.
Yeah, not getting to it.
I'd say closer to 150 probably.
Yeah, I'm saying 170. Dre,
I'll play the middle game just for the fun. 160.
160.
160 and $1.
Ryan,
160.
if you
I-
say $1, I'm going to kick your ass.
no, I have to lowball it more because this opening weekend is not good.
Mm,
And I have a feeling that after people see it, it's going to be worse. I'm
Uh-huh.
going to say 142.
142. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't make money. Now, again, to compare it to the Marvels, is it going to be as big a flop? No.
No,
But it's still going to be a flop, and Rachel will be the reason.
I mean, in my opinion, 3 strikes you're out, right? Like, stop putting her in movies.
Oh, they won't stop.
She's obviously box office poison.
They won't stop.
And her attitude is poison. Like she is one of the most unlikable 20-something-year-olds I've seen come
Ben.
from. She's "Oh, hey, if I'm gonna stand there for 12 hours in a dress, like,
Yeah.
there are people that stand there for 12 hours on a freaking production line, and you don't see them pissing and moaning. Like, what the hell are you talking about?
That's the thing.
You
She's
play
insufferable.
pretend.
She's insufferable, and that's why she's fair game. Because let's remember Rachel Zegler's history. And we're talking about Rachel Zegler now because she is the reason a lot of people are not going to go see this movie because her behavior is abominable. When she was cast as Snow White, her first initial response was, "I'm not going to pour bleach on myself for all you racists." That's essentially what she said.
Mhm.
And then in the following weeks, and that's when I made videos on this and I got my first taste of the Zegler bots. She goes on these tirades on X Twitter. She goes after Jeremy Renner, who
Yes.
at the time was going through a messy divorce, had allegations against him, which were proven false.
Yep.
But she went after Jeremy Renner, said some horrible things. No accountability on that. Goes after our fellowship favorite, sphere favorite, Gina Carano.
Yep.
Went after Gina, said horrible things. No accountability. Went after J.K. Rowling about her stance on certain individuals and where they go to the bathroom.
Yep.
No accountability. So she says a lot of horrible things. Horrible things.
These are all people who are massively beloved, right? Like, I think J.K. Rowling's a weirdo. Obviously she has.
She hates
again,
us. She would hate us.
Again, a broken clock can be right. Twice a day.
Yeah.
Um,
But she made something timeless.
But she made something that is timeless. It's beloved, and I mean the freaking Hogwarts Legacy proved it. This whole like, oh my god, it says, and it's like it
Fun
had
game.
record fucking sales.
Yeah,
and it's
fun
like.
game.
So it's one of those things that you're going after people that, especially Jeremy Renner. I mean, yeah, he went through a messy divorce. Congratulations. What it happens, but he's one of the most beloved people from the MCU.
And now with his current history where, yes, he got run over by his own snowplow, but he was saving somebody in the process.
Yeah, he was saving somebody in the process. So dude's a real world kind of hero.
Yeah.
Like, and he had a miraculous recovery.
Yeah.
And you were
great.
just drilling into him like you are a vile woman.
She is. So when she now gets her special permission a couple weeks ago, right before the strike ended, she got her waiver to go be a scab to promote her movie.
That was beautiful, by the way. Dermy.
We give Dermy. Dermy was the first one who got her attention.
I gotta do it. Calling her a scab was incredible. She was so angry.
That's all he does now, though.
I know that's a problem. I told him to lay off and pick your moment, but no, Dermy's not going to listen to me. No, I'm not going to listen to me. The guy who tweeted at her once a day, maybe every couple of days, and then eventually I got this. But that's why she's fair game, because she started her scab work, narcissism beyond belief, selfies here, solo shots there, all that me, I. And I took my pot shots, and there was one particular picture of her, and I forget, I think it was her Vanity Fair. The picture's not going to be here with the way I quote tweeted her, but she's coming out of the elevator, and the shine between her eyebrows where they went to work to make sure that thing was nice and clean. I posted this, and I simply said, they really shined up the space between your eyebrows after shaving down the unibrow, didn't they? Everybody who's familiar with this channel, veterans, longtime visitors, or new people now, you got to understand, almost a year ago, when I first went on Twitter, I was told, go on there, just have fun with it. And our buddy Grump, who's not here today, said, go in there and shitpost. You'll have a lot of fun. And that's what I do. I shitpost. Aside from sharing all our videos when we're promoting each other, aside from that, or making fun of Dermy, I just shitpost and I walk away. Mainly it's Disney stands that I do too. But Rachel Zegler is fair game. And I said this, and then she replied to me. She
did.
And first of all, this is the initial one. Biggest interaction I've ever gotten on X Twitter. 131,000 views on that. And I didn't do it for that. I just did it to shitpost. Then she replied to me, you must be fun at parties.
Now,
to which I said, I am actually, people love me. I'm not insufferable. Didn't get as big a attraction there, but I got under her skin, clearly.
Yeah.
With just that.
Well, the thing about this that reminds me of a lot of other stuff, I don't get why these people always assume we're lonely basement dwelling people. Like Russell T. Davies has done the same things recently, like with this whole, like, oh, if you don't like trans people, you want to kill them and have a good lonely life. Like that's all you'll ever achieve is loneliness.
Yeah.
He said that recently about the Yasmin Finney trans character in the 60th anniversary. But why do they all assume just because we don't agree with them that we're all lonely? Like the neckbeard stuff is annoying and stupid. Yeah. The whole mother's basement stuff is annoying and stupid. But the lonely part, that seems like projection. They all always act like we're lonely.
It absolutely is. These people project their misery onto others. And
sorry.
No, I was just going to say, just absolutely, just these are the worst people, and they're just miserable, right? Like, and so. It's one reason that most of them are in the business that they're in is because they need that validation, right? They need that people to beloved them. And the thing is that social media has made the mask fall off. People are like, you guys are some of the worst human beings on the planet. You say vile things and you judge everybody else and stand on your little stages and sit there and preach to everybody. And we're just sick of it.
And that's the point. They are empty inside. And she's probably been told all her life she's a special snowflake. She is the epitome of the participation trophy generation. Never been told she's not special. Always been told she's great at everything she does. And then when Steven Spielberg pats her on the head and says, "You're my chosen one now," this is there used to be a meritocracy in all of this. You make money, you put butts in seats, you get roles.
Yep. Now it's the people who basically torch the box office that get the roles because they have the right attitude,
or they run the agenda, or they're running with the correct dogma. They're running the right propaganda. They're speaking they're saying all the right things into here, and they're running with the game. And or like I said earlier, they create such a social media presence that there's this facade that they have any sort of power to move the needle. Now, when I did this, I got a DM from somebody, rando, Rachel, in response to somebody else I said, when I said, why are you wasting your time simping for Rachel Zegler? Somebody replied to that. And long story short, I shared it with most of you. You guys have seen it. They told me to go Minecraft myself. They said I was a bitch pussy. And this is a girl talking to me. At least I think it was a girl. It was a girl in their profile pics. I'm going to assume that.
They identifies as a girl.
I was going to say, what were the pronouns? I'm sure they were in there.
No, they weren't. But she was running with a particular flag. And to which Jed said, gee, it's a pretty good thing you didn't tell me. What was it? What might she have said if she knew I was Jewish?
Oh, yeah. It was a certain flag from the Middle East that is in a certain conflict with a certain other country.
Yeah, so she said, you're clearly somebody who's a pussy who's never been punched in the mouth. Bitch, every fight I've ever been in, I've won. Okay? Except for one. Vinny Matone in middle school. He went through puberty faster than I had, and we'd had one fight in camp once where it was a locker slamming event in a locker room. That was kind of a breaking one, but did damage. Yeah, Vinny Matone went through puberty faster than I did, and at one point we got into something. He said, all right, fine, go on, kick me. And I did a side kick. Dude didn't even fucking budge. And I said, okay, Vinny, you win. You win. You'll kick my ass. But every other fight I've ever been in, I won.
See, this is actually kind of part of the problem, right? Is that none of these people have ever actually been punched in the face. They've never been disciplined. Their parents were probably too busy doing other shit, whatever. Social media is a massive reason that I think parenting is failing because parents are too involved in their own social media, so they let social media raise their children. And so it goes along. These are the people who are like, oh, punch Nazis. And you saw that picture of like these scrawny freaking kids, and I'm like, you're gonna punch somebody?
Yeah.
It's like the thing is that all they have is their keyboard, right? That's their powers because
cowards
they
behind keyboards.
Cowards behind keyboards. They won't say it to your face. And the thing is because we grew up in a generation is that if you did say something stupid to somebody, you probably got punched in the face.
Well, the phrase, fuck around and find out.
Yeah. And that's the thing is that half the time you learn a little bit of discipline from that because you're like, you know what? Maybe I was being a little bit of a dick back there.
One time I got in a fight with this dude in middle. All my fights were in middle school because once I got to high school, nobody wanted to fight anymore. Nobody wanted to fight. We're interested in like looking at tits at that point. But in middle school, we got in a fight, and this one dude we were starting to jostle, and I just took my hand and I went like this, brought the hammer down right on top of his head. Dude collapsed into a pile. When I did that, I went boom right on top of his head, base of my face. He just went, just collapsed. And then, okay, I win, and I walked away. And nobody else was there. It was I left them there, and I walked away. But we've been in fights. We've been in these situations. We know what it means to mess with somebody. Hell, when this wasn't a fight, but I averted the fight. I was at a party once between college years. We all came back after college. We're all having fun, doing stuff. And that was the period of time when I was still the sober guy. I was still slightly underage, so I wasn't drinking yet. And we went to this party at somebody's house, and everybody else got trashed. Me and a bunch of old high school buddies. And some of the girls you know in high school were there. And out of nowhere, there was this dude called Wee Wee. We don't know where he came from. Some sketchy black dude named Wee Wee. He was high and drunk off his ass. I remember when at one point there was a circle going on, and they were passing the blunt around, and everybody said, and later on, when it got to him, it was a black hole. It never came back out. And he was drunk. And at one point, I was the only sober person left at that party. So I was Mr. Manager. I'm watching over my friends. I'm watching over the girls.
Name? She was wrong. You were fun at parties, Mr. Manager.
I was the guy protecting my friends, though. This is before I was the guy protecting my friends because they were all shut up. And one of the girls was so drunk, she had no idea what was going on anymore. And here comes Wee Wee, and he starts to corral her towards her room. And I saw what was going on. I just walk over, and I go, "Come on, we're gonna go away." He goes, "What? What's about you? Her boyfriend?" I just went, and I lied. I said, "No, I'm her brother." And he just went, "Whoa." He just backed off as soon as I said, "I'm her brother." And he just backed right off. And I was ready to intervene. And I just stood my ground and dude backed off. But see, that's the real world shit. Fuck around and find out. And people, even a high drunk motherfucker like that saw me stepping up, point blank in his face, claiming that's my sister. Don't go put your hands on her. He could tell. Don't fuck around. You're going to find out. And that's reality. So when somebody comes up, and we went through the whole list on Monday. You guys can watch it on Mondays. Myself, Devil, and Mr. Bug. We walked through the replies. They're hysterical. All the kinds of names they call me. You must be so happy to get engagement on Twitter. And the whole joke is, I don't give a shit. I don't care. And then to get the DM the next morning of Minecraft yourself, you pussy, you never been in a fight. Well, I did what I should do. I reported them to Twitter because this person who yesterday I found out they've had their account locked. And I derive joy from it for the simple fact that these are the type of people who live on this platform. They subsist on it. It feeds them. It nourishes them. And when they're denied it for any length of time, it sends them into a spiral. So I'm happy if I screwed with this person right now. I'm happy that I got them locked out. Yeah, they'll probably get unlocked. They'll do whatever they need to get it unlocked. But these are the people we're dealing with. And these are the people who follow these narcissists like Rachel Zegler, because she's a narcissist. She doesn't care about anybody but herself. Yeah, she'll throw out tweets about her co-stars, but she loves it that everybody makes this premiere about her.
Yeah.
And she's not even the star of the movie.
Nope.
So when you got these people who create these followings of insane people, what do you expect? Because you're turning off the general public. You're turning off the people who actually spend money. The Zegler bots do not spend money. I would wager a fair day's wage that all her Zegler bots didn't even go to the movie itself. They went down to the beach. They talked. They got on board with Captain Jack, and they went and did it that way, claiming it's the greatest movie ever.
I don't. I think so yeah, these people don't. Well, first off, most of them are probably 12, right?
Yes.
So because they find these woke loser actors and actresses to latch onto like to the best thing ever. And so they're people who are perpetually online, right? See, and it's one of those things that they just blindly whatever the actor or actress says, obviously they blindly defend them. It's no different than, I mean, I literally just saw a post on Twitter. Somebody says I'll never, about the fact that the Marvels dropped 78%, right? They're like, I'll never give all of you guys for letting this happen. I'm like, for what?
Like what happened?
For what? For the movie being a piece of shit? Like, really?
That's bullshit. Let it happen. No, we chose not to spend our money on
I just
this
put a fucking
trash.
laughing emoji, right? But the thing is that these people, they're so perpetually online that they have no real life in the world. They're miserable. So they just live vicariously through these idiots, and it shows.
Yeah.
They have no personal skills. Hate to say it, COVID screwed people up, right? You lock them in their homes for too long, they lose.
A lot of people are still broken. They're always going to be broken.
Yeah, and it's only gotten worse. And the reason it's getting worse is because stuff like this is starting to happen. So now the most rabid people are just spurging out.
Mm-hmm. And they are, how do I put this? They're spurging and they're freaking out because the walls are closing in. Whether it's a Disney stand, whether it's one of these Zegler's bots, pick your moment, pick your franchise where it's falling apart. The walls are closing as they realize that everything that they've given their all to worshiping as tourists, a lot of them are tourists, it's all falling apart. It's being rejected on a mass scale, and they can't handle that.
No.
They really cannot understand why people don't see it the same way they do. And they have to understand, as I said earlier, they're not, if you're just liking this thing in its brief window of its existence for years, and one of my favorite examples is Disney Star Wars, these Disney Star Wars stans who only like it since 2012 or maybe 2014 and don't actually go back for the past 40 goddamn years where the rest of us were, and have everything. We spend our time, our money, our energy, our life enjoying this stuff. And I mean, I tweeted this yesterday, and some people liked it, where somebody just put up the High Republic books, like the Sacred Jedi texts, and I have my stock photo of my EU collection. I just said, nope, this is the proper text.
Yes.
Sorry.
Well, look at the Galactic Star Cruiser, right? Like the thing about that, the reason that thing was such a ginormous, massive flop, you put it in the worst era of Star Wars ever. You didn't even have Darth Vader in there. Nobody cares about Kylo Ren. I'm sorry.
Nope.
He looks like a little puss boy and weighs 20 pounds underneath that little black dress. Sorry. And I think Adam Driver's an incredible actor, right?
Yes.
I think Adam Driver's a good dude.
Those movies, he's not at
former
fault.
Marine.
There's
You
not,
know,
he's not at fault there. Yeah.
and he's one of the, he was laughing during the Ricky Gervais fucking roasting Hollywood thing. He was one of the only ones laughing. You know why? Because he's like he's just thinking, right? He's right about y'all motherfuckers.
Adam Driver has a career outside of Star Wars.
Yes,
he's
he
not
does.
Daisy Ridley.
No, and Daisy Ridley, like, look, I don't think Daisy Ridley's a horrible person either. She spoke out and said
a lot. Yeah,
she voiced her opinions about how things weren't really going the best behind scenes. But that's mostly swept under the rug, right? Because she's one of the beloved, so it's okay for her to and same with Mark Hamill. He said, hey, I fundamentally disagree with everything you've done to my character, but they give him a pass because he's a fucking weirdo on Twitter.
He's got his whole other list of crap.
So it's they pick and choose here, right? And so the thing is that these failing projects, it's because normal people are they don't have the extra money. They don't want to spend their money on it. They want to spend their money on stuff they know they're going to enjoy. And half the stuff that's in theaters nowadays is just unenjoyable. It's too long. It's diluted. It's full with all these nonsensical politics that, quite frankly, nobody wants to take their children to. Disney.
Nope. And that's the thing. The people that move the needle, the people that have the money to buy things, promote things, make them live on, we're all gone. And sometimes they're buying this stuff. They're buying it where the corporation doesn't get the money. They're buying it used. They're buying it secondhand. They're going to eBay. They're going to other places to get it. They're not giving it direct to the corporation. And the stands, they don't move the needle. Some of them do have money. We saw it proved with the HasLab Ghost thing, and Dre explained it perfectly to me when it happened. That was a small, tight-knit thing. They were all there at the con to communicate with each other, so they got it done quickly. But that is a minority of the minority. And you just got to prove it that the High Republic, it sells less than 10,000 books. Less than 10,000 people buy into it. But they're pretending that it's a big thing. So stands don't move the needle. They don't have the money. And that's why all this failing. And that's why, as we said, back to it, they're melting down across the board from, again, Zegler stuff to Disney stands to all the stuff. They're melting down because it's failing, and they don't understand why, because they're a hive mind. They've been told it's great, but they're not actual fans. They don't spend the actual time loving this stuff, getting into it. They just get the cheap crap given to them, and they think that it's the real thing.
Well,
but it's not.
The thing is that this is a religion to these people, right? They say that they're very anti-Christianity and Judaism and all that kind of stuff, right? The thing is, though, is that they don't realize that they're in a religion already, and it's
replaced religion,
practically a cult at this point, because they're so rabid and that's all they're good for, is being rabid and extremely loud on social media. And if you don't toe the fucking party line, I mean, I say party line because technically it does come.
It's ideology.
It's ideology.
Yep.
a certain political individuals toe this ideology, and people in Hollywood are practically just political figures now because all they do is tweet political crap all day long.
It's been all tied together. That's why pop culture is so important. It's been knitted very tightly to ideology now.
People live by this every day. Like they obsess over it nonstop. So as soon as you say something, they just vomit all over you and just go nuts because you are throwing a wrench into what they both fundamentally believe and live their life like.
And they've given everything to it.
Yes.
And that is why I was having a conversation earlier today with somebody. That's why what we do, and we'll close on this. That's why what we do is so important, talking about this pop culture stuff, because Andrew Breitbart was absolutely right when he said politics is downriver of pop culture. Everything we talk about is important because now, like Ryan just said, they've woven ideology into everything. And they will never move, they will never change because all these pop culture things are woven to agenda, ideology. If you say you're okay with the opposite opinion of this, suddenly then you're playing for the other ideological team. And you can't have that.
Nope.
You must play for your team forever. You cannot be a heathen. You cannot be an apostate. You must be a part of the ideological religion that runs your life, because it does run their life.
Yes.
It runs their life. There is no freedom. There's no individualism. You're a part
These
of the hive
people will
mind.
be forever broken.
Yes.
Too.
And that is why we must stay our ground. Like Patton said, I'm not going to pay for the same real estate twice. I own what I got here. I'm not giving it up. And listen, the fact that they're we're winning, we're going to win. We just have to stay the course, stay the fight, and keep shining sunlight down on all of this. And
well,
all right, you get the last word.
Yeah, I was just gonna say the sheer fact, dude, that I didn't mean to jump on you.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
The sheer fact that more people watch YouTube for entertainment than actual television tells you all you need to know. They come here for their news. They come here for their pop culture takes. They come here to watch, just laugh.
Mm-hmm.
Like YouTube is played on more televisions than it is on actual computers and phones anymore.
Yep. It's the Iron Age. It's another section of the Iron Age where we are creating content and entertainment free of the debilitating effects of ideological agenda, because we're here just to entertain.
Yeah.
And if you guys have been entertained today, hit that like button. Leave a comment when we're done, because we got to get out of here, because Ryan and I have to beam up in about 15 minutes. So let's go around the horn, say our farewells, pimp our shit, and get out the door. Jed, what's going on this week?
This is going to be a very busy week for me because it is the week of the Doctor Who 60th anniversary, as well as the first special in the 3-part 60th anniversary series, which is coming out after the anniversary for some reason. All 3 of them are, but whatever. So I've got a video coming out at least tomorrow about the Russell T Davies backlash. Probably going to be doing lots of Doctor Who videos. And then Wednesday night, probably around 10 p.m. Eastern, depending on when Cobra Cast ends, because I do have responsibilities on that show.
Fuck responsibilities.
Yeah, what are you, like, part of Geese and Gamers or something? God, you sound like such a bitch.
Something like that. But I'll be having a Doctor Who retrospective stream where we just talk about the good stuff. There will be a near hard rule that we don't talk about any new Doctor Who. We don't talk about anything we don't like. We're just enjoying what we love. And I'm going to be doing a rewatch, probably on my Discord, maybe even, of every first episode for each Doctor. So Adam will be joining me for that. I have a few other potential guests lined up, and then I'll have the review out probably on Sunday for the first part of the 60th anniversary specials, as well as an edited watch along of that episode in the next few days after that, with a crew of people watching with me, just like we did the Witcher watch-alongs. But for Doctor Who
I
news,
won't kill myself on the stream.
I can't imagine it's going to be worse than The Witcher. The Witcher was pretty bad because we had to watch the whole half season.
God. Dude,
you want to join us for this, Ryan? It's only one episode versus 5.
I mean, I can join you. Just send me the link, man. But no, that Witcher thing, that was murder. That was so murder.
And remember, I burned through the first half of the season the day before, so I was extra burned.
Yeah.
All right, so
I mean,
yeah.
the commentary is hysterical, right? Because we are all suffering just horrendously.
And we're all getting drunk.
I was sober, but I kept sinking lower and lower into my chair.
Yes, you did.
It was so bad. But yeah, so I'll be there on Jed's on Wednesday after Natural 20. Natural 20 will be here this week. I'll carry over what I wanted to do last week. Anyway, Dre, you still on your world tour?
Oh yeah, so I'm still on my full-on prostitution tour. Yes, sir. Yes, indeed. So this week I am going to be interviewing with a few more wonderful creators from the Independent Comics Network. Pops Van, who's great. That will be at 3 p.m. on Monday on his channel. Also, oh yeah, probably on Ballbusters this Friday. So
I'm sorry.
that. Yeah, I'll be back there. And for those that are in the chat and all the other wonderful people here, definitely check out my Indiegogo to help me fund my graphic novel, Trouble the Rhythm Within. I've worked really, really hard on it, and I really would love all of your help and support. The Iron Age is on the rise, and I am definitely one of the patriots that are pushing that shield forward. So definitely, if you can support me, that would be wonderful. I would love that. I drop videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on my YouTube channel, Brutal Planet Comics. And we got a doozy on Monday. We're going to be talking about Scott Pilgrim Takes Off and the abomination that it was.
I heard.
So you're definitely going to want to.
I heard it was other Masters of the Universe bait and switch.
Yep. Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
I haven't heard anything about it. Unpopular opinion, I don't like the movie, so I was not interested. But I didn't hear it was bad. I didn't hear that the.
Let me tell you something, good sir. It hurt my feelings because I tricked myself.
It's like I hurt myself today.
Into hope on Friday. I was so excited because it was surprising news to me, and I'm a huge Scott Pilgrim fan, and I was raked on the coals, and it hurt. It hurt. So we'll be dropping that on Monday, and then we'll see what other news will be dropping throughout the week. So that's what's going on. But of course, above all else, my Indiegogo. If you support it, if you can, I appreciate it.
Link in the chat, link in the description below. And we will keep our eyes on it all week long. Ryan, Captain, my Captain.
I just for the record, I love the fact that you said that you're prostituting yourself out. That's great. No, I would just like to say it was awesome being on. Obviously, been on a panel with a few of you guys a couple of times. Jed, it may have been a few minutes since The Witcher, but I don't think it's really been that long, has it? But anyway, yeah, no, it's awesome being on talking about this kind of stuff. And of course, shout out to everybody in the chat. You guys are always the best. I've said this from day one. I don't understand why people think I'm entertaining, and in the least, I'm sure there are people that don't. But the fact that you guys stick around and listen to us just, talk about pop culture and how Rachel Zegler is the worst human being on the planet right now, and that's even compared to what's going on in Israel. No, I kid. Well, she is one of those weirdos, right? So no, it was awesome being on. So join us on Star Trek Engage, where Dermy Wormy is finally going to be on. He's finally going to be there. He's not being a little puss. So you know what? It's going to be interesting.
Anna's going to be late, though.
Anna's going to be late, but she will be there. She got stuck on the train. So
I'm sure she'll be watching, though, until she gets there.
Oh, I'm sure she'll be watching. So
as Ryan said, in about 10 minutes, myself, Ryan, Devil, Samuel the Infamous. Alf's not going to be there this week, but
he's got family in town, which is cool.
In town, which is fine. And Dermy's our Wesley this week. So
he is our Wesley this week.
Lord.
The Galileo 7, which I've called Planet of the Dermies.
Yeah, see Kel, she's like, oh, Lord.
Yeah, so you guys join us there. As for myself, I'll be on Engage about 10 minutes. I got to go take out the garbage first. But then later tonight, since we are back full strength. Since we're back at full strength, I'm going to try and game something tonight. We'll try to do a gaming stream. I don't know what yet. We'll see what tickles my fancy. Then tomorrow night, 8:45 p.m. Eastern, Mellow Mondays. We'll start the week off right. get all kinds of fun. And tomorrow, my videos, I can tell you right now, 2 videos plus a stream, 2 videos. It's going to be what we just talked about, Marvels, the Monday take, and then Hunger Games take. And I will be tweeting Miss Zegler tomorrow. I will. So look forward to that. We'll see what that happens. I just want a shit poster. So anyway, Wednesday, Natural 20. We will be returning for that 7:30 p.m. Eastern before Jed's stream. I will be on that as well. I pretty much say we'll be talking cowardice on Wednesday night. It's my topic I wanted to talk about last week, but it'll still work this week. It'll still work. I think it'll work. I might pull back on gaming throughout the week. More videos, less streaming. Seems to be working. Channel seems to be moving in the right direction again. And then Friday, I guess Dre's
Yeah,
going
but
to
I
be
like
there.
your Star Trek streams.
Well, I kept playing the last one we were playing because I didn't know when I was going to get back. So that one's almost done. But I need to rework the mods on it again. So I need to but yeah, I might do Star Trek tonight. I might do Lords of the Fallen. Depends on what I feel like. We'll see what happens. Because if we do Star Trek, we'll be starting over again. And I might need to do Klingons if we're starting over again. I've been promising that for a while. But then on Friday, Dre will be there. Ballbusters, that sinking ship. Last week was so bad because Dermy didn't get too drunk. So we kind of got through it.
No, because it was the week before, right? That he was
that was the shit face
hosted Thursday and Friday night.
That was glorious. All that was glorious. But yeah, so I don't know what to expect this Friday. Next Saturday Night Drive-In is my pick this week. I haven't chosen yet. I'm narrowing it down. I'll let you guys know in the next 48 hours what we're doing. And then that Saturday, I will also be back on Jed's stream as we watch the Doctor Who thing. Unfortunately,
just to clarify for everyone, that will be recorded.
Yeah,
that will not be live on Saturday. I've got to edit it for copyright purposes.
That'll be show. But I'm saying that's where I'll be at some point on Saturday. There, Saturday Drive-In. I may or may not game that night, and then Sunday we'll be right back here, 2 p.m. Eastern.
You know, when you edit it, every time you edit the little photo over, you should just do Jodie Whittaker. So just
no, that's supposed to be a break. I always put that in there as a palate cleanser.
That was funny. That was funny.
And we'll be right back here.
She's topless. There's topless.
No.
I can do that.
I'm trying to end this stream cleanly, not with disgust. God damn it, man.
You're welcome.
Lord, I hate you all.
I got to be honest. I'd probably still do it.
No. We're done.
Yes, you would.
No, we're out of here. We're done. Good night, everybody.
This will.